Bronson Stewart, campus coach, first grade was Katie. I was baptized probably like most people go in church their whole lives when I was about 10. It was a conversation I had with my parents one night and decided that the next Sunday my dad and I would go down front. It really wasn't too much of a decision. It was just something that I knew I had to do. I completely understood that Christ had died for me and that the only way to accept that free salvation was to commit my life to Him. My life since obviously being baptized has been a lot like a typical life of someone who'd been baptized when they're young. It definitely had its peaks and valleys. There were times, especially in junior high and in high school, when you would have moments of an intense closeness with God, and there would be times as really a junior or senior in high school where you kind of feel like that you had allowed things in your life to let you creep away from God. In high school, I had no problem showing people who I was. I was clearly a Christian. I was actively involved in my church, FCA, Athletes in Action. I was very, very proud of my faith and didn't really care who knew it. I would always have CDs blasting in my car, and people just knew that that's who I was. When I moved to Katy my senior year in high school, it became a little harder. I was not surrounded by my network of friends, and so when I moved to Katy, I had to be known for something. Obviously, I resorted to humor, and I really was not as active as a Christian as I should have been. It was not hard to regain that when I went to college my freshman and sophomore year. I was not doing anything that required me to really take a stand. I was just a student going to class. I went to church on Sundays, occasionally on Wednesday nights. It was really a piece of cake. However, the Lord gave me an opportunity to really test my faith and allow me to play football. When I transferred to Louisiana Tech to play football, it was a whole nother set of pressures. I was all of a sudden faced with a team of 100 guys who I really knew none of them. And I decided to definitely put on a mask. This was scary at 20, 19, 20, 21 years old to be reluctant to share my faith. I definitely failed the Lord there. I put my faith at risk. I put my relationship with my future wife at risk, and I basically told the Lord that the talent that you'd given me to play football was basically because I had worked hard, not because it was a gift. It was at a moment in which my wife, who strangely enough I had been working to share my faith with, called me out on my own faith and basically asked me why I appeared to be one person when I was with her and at church, and I appeared to be a totally different person when I was in Louisiana around my football friends. I quickly realized that I had missed out on an entire opportunity to witness to so many guys. It's a decision that I have to live with for the rest of my life, that there was hundreds of guys on the team that I failed to witness to. And it was at that point that I realized that while I may have been a man in age, I was acting like a boy spiritually. As I was able to come back to Houston and really regain who I was, I got in touch with an old accountability partner, and we were able to pray together and really find that person who I had been in high school, that person who wasn't ashamed of what I believed, wasn't ashamed of the gospel. And it was the greatest feeling of relief ever to be able to. It truly is tiring to be two different people, to play two different lives. It just begins to physically wear you out. To try to remember the story that you use when you're around one group and revert back to the story that you use when you're around another group. And I know that there are things in my past that I've done that I'm not proud of and that I can't take away, but I know that ultimately my Savior Jesus Christ has forgiven me of those things. And that is what's so refreshing about just being able to be the same person all the time, is that it's like a burden's lifted off. So I would encourage you, if you currently are in that situation, to just take the mask off, to give your life to God, and know that sure, there are times when you're going to mess up and there are times when you're going to fail, but regardless of how hard you try to run from the Lord, He'll never run from you. And when you just take out that mask and show the world who you truly are, the Lord can then allow you to do some pretty special things.
dirty little secrets. Don't tell anyone, no.